Well, it's the start of a new work week, and guess what? We're tracking yet another winter storm that is bearing down on the QC and will be here within hours. Let me show you what's going on outside first. We've got some clouds, even a little bit of fog still left over, but we are quiet now for the most part here in the area. But things are going to be changing here as we go throughout the mid-afternoon and right into late afternoon this evening as well. 32 degrees outside, so right at the freezing mark, but look at the dew point in the mid to upper 20s. So that lets us know that once the precipitation starts to move in, we'll likely see these temperatures dropping a degree or two as it kind of moistens up the atmosphere a little bit. And we have a stiff easterly wind as well. You probably noticed that if you've been outside, maybe pumping a little gas before the next storm. Yeah, those winds are starting to pick up. And also what that means with that easterly wind, our temperatures are not going to warm up very much today as that easterly wind ushers in that cool air. So that sets the stage for our next storm system. And let me give you the update here on the winter weather alert. So you can see everywhere along and north and west of the I-80 corridor. So from the Quad Cities over towards Rock Falls, Galena up towards Dubuque, and back over towards Monticello and Iowa City, we're under a winter storm warning that kicks in at 3 o'clock this afternoon and goes through about 9 o'clock Tuesday. And I'll explain why it's extended into 9 o'clock on Tuesday evening in just a moment. Also notice a winter weather advisory that goes into effect for the rest of the viewing area south of I-80, and that goes into effect from 3 o'clock this afternoon through 9 p.m. Tuesday as well. We're expecting the potential of heavy snow and ice possibly across the area. So let's show you what's going on right now on the radar picture. Again, most of the QC area is quiet and dry, but we're starting to see the beginning stages of the storm developing. We're seeing snow breaking out right now for our friends down in Keokuk. Yeah, you're seeing the flakes flying at this moment. Also over towards Fort Madison and stretching up towards Mount Pleasant. About to see a good burst of snow, and this will eventually over the next hour will work its way into Minneapolis up towards Wapello and Washington. So we're underway now with our next storm, and you can kind of see the setup as we show it to you. High pressure off to our north, ushering in that easterly flow. That's giving us a cool and dry flow. That sets the stage for that low pressure to move our way. And you can see the moisture lifting up and over this frontal boundary into that colder air mass. So notice how the moisture goes from rain over to that wintry mix and then snow. And that's the situation that we're going to be dealing with as we go throughout the evening. So let me walk you through this forecast hour by hour so you can kind of plan what you can expect as you get ready to head home from work and school today. Oh, it's going to be a rough travel period, especially by late this afternoon. You can see right now, there you see that beginning area of snow there from Mount Pleasant down towards Keokuk. Notice by 3 o'clock, I think the snowflakes are making their way down to the ground from Iowa City over towards the Quad Cities, Muscatine, back over towards Princeton. And by 6, 7 o'clock this evening, I think the snow is falling across most of the area. But look at that, some heavier bands of snow from the Quad Cities back down towards Mount Pleasant, Burlington, and Macomb. And then we'll watch as we go throughout the evening hours. We're going to try to get some warm air lifting to the north. Now, depending on exactly how far north this gets will determine the snowfall totals from I-80 and points south. I think if you live north of the I-80 corridor, you're going to be socked in with heavy snow for this entire event. But for us here in the metro area and points south, there's a little better chance of seeing some freezing rain and sleet mixing in. Now, that will be the trend as we go throughout the overnight hours. But then as we go into Tuesday morning, we'll get on the backside of this system. So that low pressure pulls off to our east. It pulls down that colder air. The winds really start to ramp up, and we're going to be looking at a period of snow, I think, on your Tuesday morning as well, along with some strong winds. Now, once the snow moves out by Tuesday afternoon, the winds are going to stay howling, and that could create some blowing and drifting of the snow, especially for areas off to the north and west, and that could cause a whole new set of problems with visibilities by Tuesday afternoon and evening. That's why the advisories and the warnings are extended into Tuesday evening. How much? Well, again, north and west of the Quad Cities, we're talking 6 to 8 inches at least across the area, with 3 to 6 inches in the metro and right along the I-80 corridor, and 1 to 3 inches with up to 1/4 of an inch of ice south as you head towards Galesburg over towards Burlington. So this is going to be a high impact with travel. We're talking snow and ice being a high priority, with winds even picking in as we get into your Tuesday, and this could lead to some school delays and closures. In fact, I bet on that as we go into your Tuesday morning. Here's your 7-day forecast. That first alert day kicks off at 3 o'clock this afternoon and goes all the way through your Tuesday, with snow, ice, and wind being a big problem. And then once we get past this system, we get a nice little break on Wednesday. Get outside, do some shoveling or snow blowing. I guess we have a new winter storm Thursday into Friday, and that one could bring us heavy snow and wind.
Well, I'm becoming an expert on snow shoveling, that's for sure.
You too? I've learned all kinds of methods. I've learned how to put my windshield wipers up and cover my windshield and stuff before the snow moves in, so I'm becoming an expert now.
Yeah. I don't think you ever get used to it, though.
No, not at all.
Thanks, Cedric.